Okay, let's get one strike with every ball in my current arsenal. Basically just got back from the US, so most of these balls I haven't thrown in like 4 or 5 months. So I have 15 balls here, 15 strikes. Hopefully it doesn't take too many shots. First up, pitch black number 1. Fitting way to start. Pitch black number 1 is slightly weaker layout than pitch black number 2. Flat 10, I'm going to move 1 right off of that. That's got a little right. All right, gonna count that. 1 ball down. All right, pitch black number 2, a little stronger layout, taller pin, and a little more surface. There was, let's see, 4 boards left of the other pitch black. Maybe 1 too many, but pretty close. So I'm gonna stay in the same spot and just rotate it a little bit more. We're good. So both pitch blacks down. Okay, so now we move into the reactive balls, and obviously this arsenal is a lot different than my PBA arsenal. One thing, conditions with ball on PBA are very different. Second part is I haven't been home, so I don't have all the new balls yet. So this arsenal is obviously going to change quite a lot in the next couple of months, but so far, still, even though it's a little bit older, it's still a pretty solid arsenal. All right, so first up, OG Reality. A little better transition since I threw that one last time. So there was let's say there was a 7 board move left off of Urethane number 2. Gonna move another 3 here. That was a pretty good move. All right, so next up, original Origin. I haven't gotten the EX yet. Pretty excited about that one too, though. I'm gonna be in the same spot as the Reality, just because I think this one back ends a little bit more. Definitely cleaner, more back end. Ended up in the same spot though, so that was good. All right. So that was those 2 down. And let's get into the Optimum Idle. This one should be quite a bit smoother, so I'll actually move 3 back right. Probably a little bit more speed on this one too. Missed a little left, but it still picked up pretty early, so that spot is probably blowing up a little bit. Might need to get left of it anyway, so I'm gonna go, this one I'm gonna go 2 left and try to get it a little further right. Well, still hooked early, Still didn't get it far enough right. When I started out practicing on this pattern, I'm not sure what it actually is. Just balling whatever was here. And it had a really defined like out of bounds, like right of 7. And now it feels like the little hang area that was left of 7 is starting to blow up a lot, and there is starting to develop a little bit of hook right of 7. So let's get one out there, see if it doesn't work. All right. That was close. Still doesn't quite want to get through that friction in the middle part of the lane, but probably can just move further left with this one, honestly. So let's do that. It is smoother than the other 2 balls, but it's probably also a little weaker, so it retains a little bit more, so it doesn't roll out. Yeah, just needed another 2 boards left. Lowered my speed a pinch, and looks good. All right, so what should the next ball be? Let's go, well, we just through the idle, so let's go into phase 2. I don't think I've thrown a shot with this phase 2 in 6 months, so I'm not sure where this one completely fits in the arsenal anymore. It fits the striking spot. Same spot as the idle. Definitely seemed like that one was a little bit cleaner and a little bit more forward, which is probably due to the pin-up layout. So it kind of hooks a little quicker and goes forward. It's good to know. Let's actually move into some of the stronger stuff. Iron Max. So this is one left of the Reality. I think this one should be a little smoother. So I'm gonna add a pinch more axis rotation. Yeah, definitely smoother. Got it a pinch right, but with more axis rotation still doesn't come back. So need to make a little bit of an adjustment there. And it's very clear that the strong balls that kind of want to roll out definitely sees the out of bounds more than the weaker balls. All right, so 2 right. Just gonna let it hook early and roll up. That spot is just gone. Definitely can't use that spot unless I'm throwing a pretty weak ball. So, and I don't think I have anything that's super weak out here, so probably need to just not use that spot. Let's manipulate it a little bit though. So we're staying in the same spot, a little more speed, a little more loft. The issue is, I really have to throw it right to get it through that spot, to get it actually going right. It just picks up so early, makes it look like I'm missing left by a few boards, while it actually just doesn't want to get to the right. So, let's do something weird. Let's move 5 right, get it out towards the gutter with a little bit of speed. That's a strike. I probably need to throw it a pinch slower from that spot to have it come up flush, but that's one of the things, like when you have a big smooth ball like this that kind of hooks early and then rolls out, you can't open up your angles too much without manipulating the ball a ton. So it does become a little bit tricky what you can do. So moving right and trying to just kind of force it through it sometimes can be the better move. But let's move into the gem, and we're gonna throw it from the same spot as the Iron Max. This one should come off the spot a little bit more. Well, it definitely is going to when the spot you talk about is 5 further right than where you actually hit. So let's try that one again. All right, let's get it closer to the gutter than the second arrow, and it should be all right. Just hooked early, saw all the carry down. Not a nice pattern for the really big asyms that want to tumble. So it's gonna stay in the same spot, throw it slower, a little bit more up the back of it, really have it just tumble early and go forward. Yeah. That's what happens when you try to manipulate stuff too much. Alright, actually didn't look too bad, so let's give it one more chance. Get my angles shut down a little bit more, pinch lower, pinch more off the back of it, still doesn't want to strike. Again, just really have to manipulate these balls just because they don't match up to this kind of burned up condition. Try and move one right, do the same kind of thing. Oh. Just managed to get out the 10. That was a pretty good break because that one isn't going to strike very often. Just not the time and place for a gem. Definitely has a place in my arsenal, just not right now. All right, fresh magic gem. This one is super early, so I'm gonna move 3 left off of where I was with the optimidal and phase 2. Just a little too much angle. You can see it picks up really early and really wants to go forward on the back end. So I don't know if I can just shut down my angles here. I think I need to make it hook from that spot. So more axis rotation, same spot. A little bit of loft. A little bit of loft to clear the fronts, a little more axis rotation to make it hook down lane. And yeah, just those type of balls, you just have to really manipulate them when you get on something that's burned up, and most of the time you're better off just going to something weaker. So let's see, what do we got? Attention star. So I'm gonna split the difference here. I'm gonna go right in between the magic gem and the optimidal. Might need to throw it a pinch slower or be a pinch further right, but it got there and it struck. Attention star, like a weaker ball in my arsenal. well, weaker of the stronger balls. All right, so DNA coil, really like this one. Should be a little bit stronger, so I'm just gonna stay in the same spot. Didn't get, probably missed in by, I don't know, like a board and a half, maybe at the break point. But you can tell it was how much stronger the DNA coil is than my attention star. So I can honestly probably move. Well, let's not move. Let's just try to like throw it more towards the gutter and see if it comes off the. Might have been a little too much. Yeah, the gutter still doesn't really want to hook here, so that's a little too much angle. So I probably need to move a little bit left, keep my break point in between those two shots. So this is 2 left with my feet. Gonna try to get the ball to, let's say like 7 down lane. That was a pretty good shot. Pretty good. Probably pinch more axis rotation. I think that will be really, really good. Maybe continue a pinch more, but that was pretty close. All right, another ball I probably haven't thrown in 6 months. Virtual energy blackout. This should be a cleaner cover than the DNA coil. So I think I move 2 back right and see if how big the difference actually is. Oh yeah, much cleaner. You can see because it's cleaner, it stores more energy, so it gets through the front and middle part of the lane more, has more energy on the back end, so it actually comes off the spot further down lane and stronger, which makes it not see the out of bounds quite as much. That's pretty good. Let's do the Belmo ball now. Identity. This one, I feel like this one should be in between the DNA coil and the virtual energy blackout. I'm gonna throw it in the same spot as the DNA coil, and then we can kind of see how big the difference actually is. A little right. Yeah, and kind of the same thing. A little bit stronger, picks up a little earlier than the virtual energy blackout, and just doesn't quite have enough down lane to come back from that kind of angle when you get it out to that little bit of out of bounds that's still left here on this lane. So with this one, I probably either need more axis rotation to get it back from the out of bounds, or I need to shut down my ankles a little bit more and play the roll a little more. So I'm gonna move 4 right, get my speed up a little bit higher, and get it to like 8-9 down lane. And I got it to, oh, is that 15? So some pretty big misses today. Need to be a little sharper, but I'll get there. All right, let's try this again. 8-9 down lane. That's closer. Yeah, that's much better. Speed to keep it on line in the friction, and just allow it to kind of roll off of the dry down lane without getting it out to the out of bounds. So, all right, Equinox. I feel like this one should be a little weaker than the DNA coil, but still pretty smooth. So I'm gonna split the difference between, throw it the same spot as the attention star. and we'll see. Definitely a little bit weaker, a little smoother. So I don't think it's quite as clean as the Virtual Indie Blackout, but also not quite as angular. But it does continue a little bit more on this than the DNA coil, which is why it makes it back from that spot. All right, and now last ball, 15 out of 15. IQ AI. And this one, I'm pretty excited about this one. When I practiced with it earlier, about an hour ago, it actually hooked back from the gutter. So let's see what it does when I'm 8 further left. So I'm gonna be in the same spot as the Equinox, but I'm gonna try to get it out towards the gutter instead. And the fun thing is, that was when I practiced earlier, that was the only ball that would get back from that spot. All the other ones would see that as out of bounds, probably because they're just burning up a little bit more and not being quite as angular down lane. So let's see if we can finish off here. Oh yeah. If I get around with that one a little bit, it really wants to go. So, and that just tells me that there's a lot of friction on this lane, and basically every other ball I have is reading that friction and rolling a little too forward, where because of the a little bit weaker cover and weaker core in the IQ AI, it gets through that spot, actually saves energy for the back end, so it actually outhooks the other balls. Alright, Brooklyn's doesn't count, so trip 2s count. Brooklyn's don't count. So Alright, so my camera ran out of battery, but I did manage to get the last shot, the last strike out of the 15 balls with the IQ AI on my phone. As you can see, what I did was I just tried to get my angles a little bit steeper, get it towards the gutter, going towards the gutter a little quicker, and it came off there. So cool, good little exercise. Good to see some balls that I haven't thrown in quite a while go down the lane, see what they do. And obviously on this condition, it felt like the weaker the ball was, the weaker the cover was on the ball, the better it looked. The IQ AI absolutely outhooked all the other balls by a mile because it saves more energy. So on a different condition, on a fresh condition, it's probably going to be the other way around. So important to know your arsenal, important to know what your arsenal does on different conditions, because the IQ AI is definitely not going to be my strongest, most hooking ball on pretty much any other condition, but on something like this where the other balls really burn up and start rolling forward too soon, it's gonna, when that one saves the most energy, it's gonna hook more. Had I had other balls like a Sen 25 or a Road Warrior or even like a Hustle, those probably would have looked really good too, because they would have saved energy and actually had some pop on the back end. So that's, yeah, so that's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes we ball on something like this and your weaker balls look the best, and sometimes we ball on different stuff. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed watching me go through, throw 15 strikes basically. 16 I had one Brooklyn, but Brooklyn's don't count. 15 strikes, 15 different balls, my arsenal. Look forward to adding new pieces to this and figuring out what my arsenal is going to be for the upcoming tournaments, and I'll keep you updated on that.